Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to put a power disconnect on our winch line going to the battery so that when we're not using it, it's not hooked up to the system. And I'm also going to show you a big mistake that I made when wiring up to a JL that most people I think are probably making too. So if you're wiring up to a JK or JL, TJ, any of those, you probably did this every time. On a JL, JT, you can't do that. Right, so follow along. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. Now let's dig in. So to avoid any kind of drain from the winch, we're going to put this winch disconnect in. You just open the hood, turn it on, and turn it off. So we'll have to make a bracket for it. Okay, so that's roughly how it's going to look. What we want to do is we'll trim this long leg, and we're going to go into that bolt right there. Alright, I was trying to get this in here. I think I had something figured a little wrong. So I cut the bend off of it. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to bend this a small section up, then just weld that tab. I'll end up cutting the radius off, and I'll just weld that to it, so I'll get this bent and a little fork cut in it and try to figure out where it goes. Alright, so we got the bracket all in. We had to make some minor modifications. I had to drop it down just a little bit because it was actually hitting on the top. Once it's installed, I'll have to cut those screws off where it's hitting the air box. But I can get it painted now. It's pretty solid. This lip on the top here keeps it from rotating. I radius the base of this so it doesn't, rub through that wire wrap. So now, get it painted and get it wired up. Alright, so we're going to break the hot side. So I've already got a fuse here for that. So I'm having to run down and then back. And unfortunately I can't find red, just terminal lead wires. I'm going to have to look some more. Hate using the black ones because, well, that typically means neutral or ground. So worst case, I'm going to try to find some red tape to wrap on these. What we'll do is we'll check these with the meter real quick. I found when I did it on the neutral side, it just didn't work. Here, we've got nothing. If I switch it, and back off. Good. So I looked up the rating of the winch. It says that it's 275 amp at 6,000 pound pull. The switch is rated at 280 continuous, so with cold cranking up to 1200. So hopefully it'll all work out. So this came with some shrink wrap on the ends. I might just shrink wrap the end of this. There'll be no mystery on what this line is. And I'm going to cut one of these off. There's just enough room for this one up here. Now nothing's hooked up yet. I have to get all this wiring routed and try to figure some of that out too. Okay, so I gotta cut this one off. Ground side up, which I know is the winch line. Just want to run a quick check here for voltage. Just want to make sure that alright. Alright, let's see how this works. So there we have nothing. Thirteen bolts. Nothing. Alright everyone, so here's a big mistake I was making. And I didn't realize this or even know this until I took the Jeep in because it wasn't charging properly. So a JL and JT has what they call active battery management system. And it monitors everything off of these two leads that hook on top of the battery. Well, on the older Jeeps, you hooked everything onto the terminal blocks. Well, on the JLJT, it monitors everything on here. And if it's anything disrupting, I'll say these two negative lines, it throws up errors. So while we was at the dealer, they actually relocated everything, if you can see, down to this body mount. It's right here. They took the winch, the steps, and everything off of right there and hooked it right there. But overall, I think this came out to be a pretty clean build for the disconnect. So we've got the fuse in it. And for some reason, you can hook up anything you want to the positive side. It has no effect on it. It's only when you hook up to the negative side. Alright, so if you enjoy stuff like this, check out other videos on the channel. Any questions about this, leave them in the comments. I'll see you in the next video. Been another edition of Jeepingmo.